When people have a problem in their lives, it's completely natural to immediately want to fix it. And I used to be with this way. Like, if I struggle with my mental health, I would look for the best solution or strategy to get me out of my rut. But I ended up finding out, like, this doesn't work in the long term. Like, for example, let's say something that might be happening to a lot of people right now with New Year's resolutions and things like that. So a common goal is to start going to the gym more, and it's around this time, actually, that people kind of realize, like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, like, my motivation has run out. So the most usual response is to look up strategies to push through your dislike for going to the gym. So you start laying out your gym clothes the night before, planning your workout ahead of time, you set your water bottle up to get to the gym faster and as quickly as possible. And for a while this works, but like eventually you get to that point again where you realize, like, I don't want to do this. But this time, like, you run out of strategies, or even the strategies have become hard to do. And this is where, like, most people quit within the first month of the year. Like, this is actually, like, why people quit. But instead of looking up strategies to try to fix the problem, like, what if you had instead asked yourself, like, why you didn't want to go to the gym anymore? Like, why don't you want to journal every night? Why don't you want to sleep more? Why don't you want to eat healthily? Like, asking why, you'll learn, is infinitely more productive because you get to the root of the problem rather than just putting a band-aid solution on top of it. So sleeping especially might have been a surprising one to hear because, like, of course I want to get more sleep. And now when I talk about this, I don't aim this towards people with medical insomnia because I know that's an entirely different situation. But to the average person that doesn't get enough sleep, it's actually easy to see, like, why you're not getting enough sleep. Either you're, like, staying up playing video games, watching YouTube, on social media, working, whatever. But the why in this situation in particular is, like, why do you need these things in your life at this time? Like, what emotional or mental need is staying up playing video games providing for you? So how does staying up make you feel? And eventually you'll realize, like, staying up actually provides you with so much value that you don't want to take away. Like, if you just tried immediately to fix the problem and stop playing video games at night, like, maybe you'd feel more burnt out during the day because you didn't have that time to relax at night anymore. Whereas if you, like, understood the problem, you understood the value that your bad habit was providing for you, maybe you'd prioritize other things that help you relax during the day so that you can, like, stop wanting or needing to play video games at night altogether. And, like, there you fix the root of the problem. Like, you no longer even want to commit the bad habit anymore. So you're dependent on your bad habits for a reason, and understanding, like, why you're dependent on them will just help you break them so much more easily. And I think eating healthily is another great example of this, especially because it's so common. So you'll set a goal to eat healthier and lose weight, and eventually it starts to get hard. So you search up strategies like not buying certain foods and meal prepping, but then you have to like go to a work party or something, and you end up eating like 3 donuts. And then you, like, blame yourself for not, like, having enough willpower, when in reality you just, like, didn't fix the root of the problem. You still want to eat unhealthy because you know it feels nice to eat donuts. Like, so a solution for this might be to still eat donuts, just less, or you can have a little dessert every day. Like, now the root of this problem in particular, eating healthily, will be different for different people because eating healthily is actually a very, like, complex topic with a bunch of variables. But, like, for example, maybe eating healthy food emotionally soothes you, or maybe it's very common to eat unhealthy food with your friends, so it's like a social thing, or maybe, like, you just have a sweet tooth or love McDonald's. So with every, like, different root, there's different solutions that will ultimately, like, change your perspective on the issue rather than just fixing the action itself. So essentially avoiding things that trigger you to commit the bad habit is not improving yourself from within. It's just avoiding your external problems with band-aid strategies. And this can also definitely be applied to mental things like focus or whenever you're feeling sad. So if you really struggle with focus, and ask yourself why you actually want to be unfocused. So being unfocused is like fun, it's easy, and it's emotionally fulfilling. Like for example, if I'm doing my homework and I have my phone right next to me, like I'm gonna want to pick it up whenever I get a notification because I want to be distracted. Like I don't want to work on my homework. I'm going to feel so much better when I get a hit of dopamine after checking the notification on my phone. Now I haven't done this in a while, especially because like I'm posting study lives every day, so I kind of can't, but the principle is there. And a way to fix the root of this problem is not actually putting your phone further away from you, which is the thing that people commonly do. It's actually to decrease your dependency on your phone and not really care for it enough to not be distracted by it and fix the root of the problem. Like now, I can have my phone like right next to me, and I only check it when I actually like need something from it. So the trigger, like which was my phone, wasn't taken away. My will to actually get distracted by it was taken away. And I think that's what I truly mean by like understand the problem to fix it in the long term. Don't just put a band-aid solution over it. Now, not everyone can relate to this, but when I've been on my lowest, there was a sort of comfort in being sad and being out of my good momentum. It felt horrible, like obviously, but being sad was the easiest to do. Committing those behaviors that were fueled by sadness was the easiest thing to do. And at those points, I didn't have the energy to like get out of bed and go make breakfast. Like it was so much easier and so much more mentally fulfilling to just stay in bed and do nothing. So even unhealthy habits that fuel sadness provide like value to you in some way. So staying in bed provided me with comfort and ease of mind. I didn't want to have to challenge myself when I was already feeling down, so I didn't really have any reason, any motivation to try and break that habit at the time. It wasn't until I had a shift in mentality where I realized like, okay, staying in bed is going to lead to a hard life, but getting out of bed will be hard in the moment but lead to a good life, where I slowly started to get better again, and it's kind of like the choose your hard principle. And I also want to mention that I'm not bashing on implementing strategies to help fix your problems at all in your life. Like, in fact, I really love the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, because it like actually lists like step by step like how to change your bad habits. Like maybe the strategies are all you have right now. Maybe you don't even know the exact root of the problem, or you don't know exactly how to fix it. And it's in those situations where I actually recommend using the strategies, but don't rely on them. So you need to keep reminding yourself that there's a reason why you committed the bad habits. And I'd honestly recommend like reaching out to somebody you trust and asking them for advice if you feel stuck. Because I've been there, and I know it's really hard to like have a bird's eye view of your situation, and it really helps to just have like a third person perspective, and maybe you can work from there. But again, like if the strategies are all you have right now, like by all means implement them. Like just because you can't fix the root of the problem right now, like doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to improve yourself with these strategies. And the second thing I want to mention is that these examples are very much generalizations. Like just bear in mind that you need to ask like yourself what the root of your problems are. Like maybe you really related to something I said, and maybe that is the root of your problem, but also keep in mind that what I said doesn't apply this to everyone. And also like these are definitely not all of the situations that are out there. Like this could be applied to like literally any good habit that you're trying to build. And I guess to wrap this all up, like if you just avoid the root of your problems by trying to fix them, like the underlying issue is still going to be there. So avoiding like the trigger of your unhealthy habits is not going to fix the underlying issue, of why you committed those unhealthy habits in the first place. If you're also interested in like meeting more like-minded people, I'm gonna come out with a Discord probably tomorrow and it's probably in the link of the description by the time you might watch this video. And also catch me in those study with me lives. I also end each video off with a music recommendation, and today is To Hold You by Clairo. It's actually been my favorite song for years. I love the melody, I love Clairo, I love the lyrics. It has been with me throughout so many years and hard and happy moments in my life, so I really recommend it. And I put a link of it in the description. So I wish you all the best.